Well, good morning, everybody. Hi, and welcome. It is January 4th, 2021. Woohoo, we got 2020 behind us. Wow, what a year it has been. So, I hope everybody had a fantastic vacation. I know I did. I needed to rest and relax and recuperate, and I am ready. I am ready to go now. So, good morning. Good morning, Lorena. Good morning. I don't know who you are. Happy New Year, Facebook user. um, so, um, so I really hope that you guys had a chance to relax and stuff. And oh, I I really did. I had a couple days where I was just completely lazy, but I actually did end up completely cleaning out my office, and you might notice there's a little bit of echo. But I purchased these cool things. I want to show them to you, but they're so big. But one of them's art, and it goes on the wall, but it's got like it's foam, so it will help with the echo and the noise and the background noise and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm trying to get my office a little bit more roomy because it was getting very claustrophobic, and I spend a lot of time in here, as you know, because I have a 9 to 5 and I do this as my side hustle. And so I just needed to get a little bit more space and just be ready for the new year and ready to rock it. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about the strategic plan and the reason why you need one, because so often we try to go, and I think that this is one of our problems of why we have a hard time implementing, is because we go from idea right into doing, and we don't even have a plan, right? And so today I just wanted to talk to you. In fact, the next couple, the next 3 live shows are going to be really about planning, because I think it's okay for you to take the month of January to really start planning out your year and get it going. And the reason why is because once you make that plan and you actually get really specific about that plan, then you can start to actually implement, right? Then you actually have a to-do list. You actually have, verbs in the sentences that, are action items for you, instead of just like, oh yeah, I need to go and do this thing. It's I specifically need to do X, Y, and Z so that this thing gets done, right? And that's what I really wanted to talk to you guys today about, is creating that strategic plan, because that starts you at that higher level, right? The higher level of you as the CEO and what it is that you want to do for your entire year. So I was going to go over that, but I wanted to go over one thing. I found my quote for the year, and it is this: the way to get started is to stop talking and begin doing. Okay, that's my new mantra. So, but here's the thing, like, how do you do it, right? How do you get started? How do you get going on, all the things that you need to do? You can't just go from like talking about it to doing it, because there's some planning that needs to be done in the middle of it. Otherwise, you're going to end up wasting your time, and you're going to be floundering, and you're going to have to start over. And here's the worst one, is you would actually start doing something like I've seen this and I've done it. You're creating something like a course, or like a freebie or something for your people. You're creating something, right? And you get it all the way done, and you're like, yes, I'm done. Well, you forgot the sales page, you forgot the sign up page, you forgot the marketing for it, you forgot all those things because you were so focused on that one thing that you didn't think about the whole entire project as a whole and figure out what the to-do list was for the entire project. So, I mean, how many have how many of you have done that? Raise your hand. I really hate that. So what I want to do now is show you why a strategic plan, which is even higher than that project plan level, why that's important. And so I created this little PowerPoint for you, and I thought I would just share this and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And here's my quote. The way to get started is to stop talking and begin doing. Okay? So I feel like that's the greatest quote ever. I love this, but how do you get started, right? So how do you get started? How do you get there? So how do you get to where this girl is? How do you get to where she is, where she's calm and she's relaxed and she just knows what she needs to do, right? How do we get to be this person from this person, right? How do we get there? It's like there's so much going on in our heads. There's so much going on in the world. There's so many distractions. There's so much happening all the time. And oh my gosh, every time you turn around, there's a new platform we need to be on. There's a new this, there's a new that, there's a new everything. So how do we get there from here? So we're going to create a strategic plan. And that's really what I think is one of the most important pieces of your journey as an entrepreneur is this strategic plan. And so we're going to get there because the strategic plan, sorry, I misspoke. Why do we need that strategic plan? And the reason why we need it is because it can help you do all these things. And the first one is it can help you understand your who and your why. And I'm sure you've been through those free, boot camps and those different free things that you go through where people are talking about your who and your why, right? What's your who? What's your why? Or who's your who? What's your why? Why is your why? Why do you do this? Why are you doing that? But I don't know. It's like, I feel like when you write a strategic plan and you write that mission statement, the mission statement really helps you, it helps you put it down on paper in a formal way of who is your who and why is your why, right? That mission statement really says it. And when you write it as a mission statement, you craft it in such a way that, every word you do kind of wordsmith it. I mean, you don't have to, you can just create it. And then you fine tune it as you go, right? Because a strategic plan is a living document, right? So you put it out there and then you just keep massaging it, thinking about it as maybe your poster that you're going to put in your office so that you can live by that mantra all the time, that mission statement. And you have that there. It's part of the culture of your business. It's part of who you are, right? Is the strategic plan will help you understand who your who is and why your why is when you write that mission statement. So think about that when you get to that strategic plan. It also helps you verbalize your vision for your future. And I'm not talking about, oh, I want to make $1 zillion and blah, blah, blah. It's really more of what does your typical day look like? What are you doing? Are you still in the weeds doing all the things? Are you up here now finally at that CEO level, actually managing your business, actually running your business, not having to do every single little thing? Because I can tell you right now, that's my dream. I don't want to have to do all the detail work. I want somebody else to do all that detail work. And I am slowly working toward that each and every year to be able to outsource all the little things because so I can stay focused on doing what I do best, which is coaching and mentoring and teaching and, all those things that I, enjoy doing so much more than being in the weeds and doing all the detail work. So the strategic plan helps you verbalize that vision for your future. What does it look like for you? Where do you see yourself positioned in the market in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Are you still, on the struggle bus, or are you, really like making your mark and making that impact on the world. Isn't that what we really want to do, is make an impact? And I'm not talking about it has to be the whole entire world. Whatever your piece of the pie is, whatever that slice is, whatever size slice of the pie that you want, that's what we want. But you know that it can take a lot of money. We have to generate a lot of money to actually make a profit so that you can get paid, right? So you want to be thinking that way, right? So if you're if you're thinking about running your own business, you probably got to think about only a third of that money. If you're an online entrepreneur, only a third of that money is probably going to actually go into your pocket. So you got to think about that when you're writing that strategic plan, that it's not about greed, and it's not about trying to be rich. It's about trying to get enough money coming in so that you can make an income. All right. And then the strategic plan helps you set the tone for your business culture. And the reason why is because you talk about your values in your strategic plan, and the values is going to help, if these people in this picture, they're having fun, they're having a good time, right? Well, what if you weren't having a good time? What if you're like, you're like so stressed out that you're not being a very nice boss, you're not being, very kind. So when you have the values of your business, not only do you set the tone for the kind of environment you want to have as you build out your team, but also for the people that you want to attract. I'm an animal lover. If I didn't want, I don't want people who dislike animals or who treat animals poorly in my world. So I make sure that those kinds of things are part of my value, that, I like, equality, and I like our environment, and I like, certain things that I want to, I value, and I want that to be reflected in my company. All right, and then the next thing is that the strategic plan helps you really uncover those superpowers that you have, and it helps you identify the gaps, right? So you're really looking at, there's this whole thing called a SWOT. It's your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your business. And so if you think about that, it really is talking about your superpowers. What are your superpowers? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Your weaknesses are just gaps. They could be a skill gap that you have, or they could be a gap in your systems, that you don't have your systems in place yet. Maybe you have an onboarding process that you need to get fleshed out so that it runs more smoothly when you bring on a new client, something like that, right? So this helps you find your superpowers and find those gaps by creating that strategic plan. It also helps you set goals and identify the top problems to solve because you may have something that's really clunky that's happening in your business all the time, that's driving you crazy, and you're just not getting around to fixing it. Now is the time to write that down on that piece of paper, the strategic plan, and put it in your list of all kinds of projects that you're going to be extracting out of the strategic plan. Because how do you get to the goals that you're setting if you don't identify the projects that you need in order to achieve those goals? And that's really what it's all about, is creating that plan so that you have a list of projects, and all those projects are aligned with your goals. They're going to help you achieve those goals, right? So if you get off, and you're in that rabbit hole somewhere, you're out doing the shiny object syndrome thing that we all tend to do, this will help you get back aligned, get back focused on what it is that you're doing, because it's really easy to get sidetracked by the latest and greatest software, the latest and greatest app, or whatever is out there. It's just like, it's crazy all the time. Okay, so I actually created a course. I created a course especially for entrepreneurs. And the reason why is because the strategic plan has a few things that I think are lacking. And one of them is to map out your offer ladder. And The offer ladder is really that transition that you're taking your perfect people on, right? It's the A to B, right? You're taking them from somewhere around A. They're trying, but they're stuck, and you're trying to get them to the transformation that you provide, which is B, and you're taking them step by step, whatever it is. You might have, a main program like a coaching program, and then you have some courses that you pull out of that coaching program, but everything is related, right? It's a ladder that builds upon itself so that your people can get to that perfect transformation. And so the strategic plan that I have created for you helps you map out that offer ladder, and it helps you chart out your projects. Well, it helps you identify your projects for one, and then chart them out, and then track them with a system, an actual system in place, and then to plan out your projects. So I've created this course, and I'm actually, I created this course called, I called it Strategic Plan to Project Plan for a while, but now I'm calling it From Boardroom to Implementation, because I think that that's really more appropriate for what it actually is you go from that boardroom, go from the high level, and then break it all down into all those projects, and then let's start tracking those projects. Let's actually have a system in place, because the more official you get with this kind of work, the more seriously you're going to take your business. Number two, the more focused you're going to be on those things that are required for you to achieve those goals, and you can track all those projects. So with this course that I've created, I actually help you go through the strategic plan. In fact, here's the cool thing. I created it in very, very small little bits and pieces. So when you walk through the strategic plan, it's a series of maybe 3 to 5 minute videos, and then you do a little bit of work. So you can actually do this course in very small pockets of time. So remember, we talk about those 15-minute pockets of time all the time. I talk about those all the time and how you can leverage them. You can leverage them with this course. You can watch a 3 to 5 minute video and then work on that section. And then the next time you have 15 or 20 minutes, you can watch the next video and work on that section of your strategic plan. And then it'll walk you through getting organized and getting your file systems in place so that you can track all of your work. I even have a template for tracking your projects, so you can track the status of them, where they're at, what's going on. You can track links to the documentation for your projects and all that. And then I have templates for a charter, a project charter, and a project plan, so that you can, and not everything requires a project plan. Some things you can just chart it out on a quick 1-page document, and then you're on your way, right? You don't necessarily need to go through the whole project planning process. But the more detail you need to write out for yourself, then the more important that project plan becomes, because you don't want to just be random. You don't want to go out there and just fly by the seat of your pants. And having a project plan, or at least a project charter, will just help you sort of map out exactly what you're going to do, so that you're not floundering, and you're staying focused on what it is you need to do, and you're making sure that you're including all the things that are required for you to do. Like, don't forget the marketing part of it, and don't forget the sales page or the registration page for it, or whatever, that you might forget. So it helps you think things through and map it all out, so that you have a plan that's a real tangible plan that you can act on. I think that sometimes we tend to, we don't map things out in detail enough, and that's why we flounder. So I think that this is the process I use, and it helps me to stay focused and to stay organized, because you know how it is. You can have files all over the place and craziness all over the place if you don't have some sort of system. So I'm slowly creating all of my systems, and I'm going to help you guys create all of your systems, because really getting organized and getting those plans in place and having an action plan with your project plan is going to make all the difference this year, guys. And so I really want you to focus on that. Go ahead and there, I'll put this in the comments. Let's see if I can get over to the Facebook where I'm live here. Here I am. And let's see, can I put this in here? I'm just trying to put the, here it is, okay. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't have been sharing my screen here. Stop sharing. Okay. All right, there it is. So if you want to purchase it, it's only $27 right now. I have it at a really low rate right now, because I just want you guys to get out there and do it. I want you to do it. I want you to take those small pockets of time. I want you to start filling that thing out and getting it going so that you have a plan in place for the year, because it's so important, you guys. It's so important to figure out what it is you really are working toward this year, and then creating those projects and creating the project charters, just charting them out, getting them so that, you know, you might have a project that you don't even need to work on until, let's say, you know, the last quarter of the year or quarter 3 or something. Well, you don't want to just, you know, write just the name of the project and then move on. You probably want to chart it out a little bit so you have some details. So when you go back to it, you know what it is that you intended and that you were planning to do, and you don't get lost or go down that rabbit hole and end up someplace else that's not in line with your goals. Okay, so I want you to take this strategic plan and really focus down in on what those projects are that come out of that strategic plan. That is the goal of the strategic plan, and it will be your guide. It is a living document. It will guide you through all the things that you need to do for the year so that you can achieve that goal. You know, 1 year from now, when 2022 hits, I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's amazing. When 2022 hits, we want to see you know, progress and you making a profit, and you making a profit that's like realizing your dream. It's not just, oh, you're barely making it, or, you know, you're struggling all the time. It's a constant hustle. We don't want that. I hate the hustle part of it. We just want a plan that's going to work, that's going to keep us going forward, that's repeatable. We can just keep repeating our processes, knocking out those projects and making those plans happen so that we can achieve our goals. All right. Okay, you guys. So I hope that helps. Check out the strategic plan to project plan project. It's really just a project. That's all it is. It's not really a course. I'm just going to walk you through it all so that, and it's very tangible. That's what I like about it. It's like, it's not just sit passively and learn. It's, you know, learn a little bit and do, learn a little bit and do. Go through these sections and learn exactly how to do it. And then you will have a system for managing all your projects for the rest of your business life, however long that's going to be, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Remember, you're building a career path for yourself, and we want to be ascending to that CEO, right? We don't want to always be the worker bee forever. We want to have a team eventually where, you know, whether it's one person or 10 people, we want to have a system in place. We want to have a culture in place, and we want to have some smooth operations in place so that the people that work for you and with you understand and are clear on what it is they need to do so they're more productive, and that you don't waste your time and your money on labor when you don't have a clear vision. So I hope this helps you get a clear vision. And next week, I'll be talking a little bit more about the project plan I hope you'll join me. And and be sure to sign up for my boot camp. It's coming up on the 25th. So be sure to sign up for that. We're gonna rock it. I'm really working on a little bit different. I don't know, I'm gonna tweak that boot camp just a little bit, so it'll be a little bit different this time. But I am super excited about the boot camp coming up. It's gonna be really fun. So Andrea says, I started working my plan over last week, finally catching up. Looking forward to working through the new course to finalize things. Yay! Yay, Andrea! All right, you guys. So I will see you in the comments, and I hope to see you joining in on that project, because I think it will be really super helpful for you. Happy New Year, everybody. And I will see you in the comments. Okay, bye.